From Star Trek to X-Men, he starred in so many huge movies and TV shows. I just watched him again in I, Claudius, as well as being a hugely respected Shakespearean actor. For the first time, Sir Patrick Stewart is sharing his life story in a new book, Making It So. See what he did there? Telling us all about his career and his family life. You talk in the book about your dad, and it's clear that he was very troubled. You reckon PTSD he had from the war, you think?
That's what I was advised by a military medical person. Right. When I did the show, have you heard of the, yeah, I'm sure you have, Who Do You Think You Are?
Yes, of course.
And the historian said to me, I think I can say with absolute certainty, your father stood right where you're standing now. And he said, we know what he saw would have been horrendous. Does
it make you understand him a wee bit more?
Yes.
Standing there, yeah,
yes,
it would do, wouldn't it? Because that comes across in the book. You know, there's compassion there for him as well as the fact that, you know, he wasn't particularly good to you.
Well, he never beat or hit me or my brother. He would shout at us and raise a hand, but never hit us. My mother was his victim.
And for you to see that, for you to witness that as well, you know, it's got to have an effect. Was acting a kind of like getting away from a situation? Why did you run to acting? Yeah.
That's very insightful of you. Unpleasant memories, but no experience is wasted on an actor. Yeah. Because you put it away, you store it until you need it, then you let it out. The first stage I ever walked onto, which was when I was 12, the moment I was standing centre stage looking round, I felt I was on the safest place I had ever been. So I've never had stage fright, ever, because I was someone else.
And you and Sir Ian McKellan have got a brilliant friendship, haven't you?
Ian, he was about 15 months older than me, which I've always made something of.
Well, obviously, of course.
Yes, obviously. Yeah, I think you should have a lie down here. You know,
But he did say to you, didn't he, not to do Star Trek?
Yes, he did. And everyone had said to me, look, Patrick, it's not going to work. You cannot revive an iconic series. You'll be lucky to make it through the first season. Well, 7 years later, and 4 feature films.
I love you've called the book Making It So, because, of course, Make It So was that's what he said.
It's not the original title.
No?
No, that was Are You Anybody?
Oh, I quite like that.
So do I.
I quite
Because it was actually said to me.
What, in America? Was it said to you?
No.
Really?
In Stratford-on-Avon. I came out of the stage door after the first public performance of Hamlet, and there was a crowd of mostly young women standing there. One of them thrust a book to me and a pen and said, signature, please. And then she pulled it away and she said, are you anybody? And I said, no. So it was one of my sub-editors who one day said, what about Making It So? Yeah. And I knew in an instant,
doesn't it?
Because it referenced what probably most of the people who read it will reference, which is Star Trek.
But the thing about Star Trek is it has a life of its own. It means such a lot to people.
Some of my colleagues, some do a lot, others do just now and again, of conventions. Yeah. And I think the last time I did one, it was to announce live on stage the news that hadn't been released that we were going to do Star Trek Picard.
Which I think is brilliant. One thing I would say, I'm so glad that they didn't make you wear hair for Picard.
Well, I'd never had hair.
No! When did your hair go away?
Well, it almost happened, because on my last, I think I did 4 auditions. My agent called me and said, look, they want to know if you've got a hairpiece, and if you could come and wear it for the big interview. And I said, well, I have, but I haven't got it with me. I don't travel with it.
Just carry it out.
And they said, well, where is it? I said, it's in London. Right, we will get it to you. So they called British Airways, and they did. I used to wear it, selling myself to directors as 2 actors for the price of 1. Hair,
That's true.
no hair.
Exactly.
I do the audition. It's 1 speech and a scene, and it went quite well. So I went back to my makeup artist, and she said, oh, that was so good, that was so good. And I said, no, I'm not so sure. And she said, oh, well, come on, let's take it off. And she was in the middle of taking it off when there was a knock on the door, and in came all the producers and heads of the studio. And one of them said, "Oh, we've just come to say thank you again." And I heard a titter come from my makeup artist, and then they left. And she said, "Yes, you've got the job, you've got the job." And I said, "How do you know?" She said, "Because they wanted to see you without hair."
Ah.
And of course, I never wore the hairpiece again.
No, but it would have been wrong. I'll tell you what, you are very lucky in your personal life because you have got your sunshine, you've got your sunny.
Yes, meeting her at my time of life, well, 15 years ago actually, was a piece of great good fortune.
And you've really embraced social media. Tell me about the Halloween costume when you was a lobster.
Again, my wife, and who said she would give me, I think, something for dinner if I would agree to have that photograph. I don't mean something, I mean a particular thing.
Oh, right, OK. Because she does feed you.
Yes, that's right.
This is brilliant. Thank you so much. What a legend you are. A legend, right? What a great guy. Fantastic. Brilliant read as well.